Welcome to episode 219 of Studio Talent Collective, the podcast. Today, I have a gift for you and I'm going to walk you through it because this is important. This is a critical time of year to start dreaming big, planning well, and taking action. That's right, friends. I am giving away my annual project planner and my 90-day studio plan templates. That link is in the show notes, so that's there for you. But I'm going to walk you through how you can actually plan for success and for, great results in the new year. I know you're swimming in show mode right now, potentially, right? Depending when you're listening to this episode. Right now, we're recording in October. And for the Australian studio market anyway, that means that you guys are in what we call concert season, showtime. Yeah, it's that Christmas end of year production. So some studio owners will be having their shows this month, October, some will be November, some will be December. Regardless, even though you feel really consumed by that, I really would ask you to start considering what the new year looks like. And so I'm going to walk you through how exactly to do that in a structured way. That means you're ticking things, ticking things along and you're following a plan that you've created that is simple and can be executed. And let me tell you, friends, I do not believe in 50-page plans. I know they're pretty and fun and people sell these, these big books on how to plan your year. And it is cool. It's great. It's good to goal set and do those sorts of things. I'm all for that. But when it comes to something that you can follow with ease, I believe in one-pager documents that you can literally pin to your desk, pin to the wall in the office, that you can glance at each and every day and be reminded of where you're at. That's what I'm talking about, because absolutely you want to get those ideas down and have the big booklet and do all the dream listing and all the goals. I do that too, and I'll actually give you some prompt questions that I walk through as well if that's of help to you. But I want you to just get it down on one page because that is easier to execute than having to flick through a book you'll never look at again. Let's be real, right? Okay, so let's jump into the show. And don't forget, everyone, that free gift is available for you here in this episode. Just head to the link in the show notes, which is josephinelancuba.com/plan. And there you will receive my annual project planner PDF template for a download and also my quarterly studio plan PDF template as well. So do that, stick around and let's dive in so I can walk you through it and get really detailed on how you can create an amazing plan, which you can take action on. Here we go. I'm Josephine Lancuba and welcome to Studio Talent Collective, the podcast for dance and performing arts studio owners. Here we share industry insights, inspiring stories, and real talk to help you build a thriving studio and in-house talent agency. As a performing arts business coach and talent agent, I'm all about dreaming big and growing together as a community. You're in the right place. Let's leap in. Okay, welcome guys. So today, you probably think, I don't have time to plan. Who needs a plan? Why do I need a plan? Well, you need a plan. You need a plan both annually and every 90 days. So quarterly planning is the key to my success. And, I'm still in a growth mode right now, but it is definitely a key to my success because every 90 days, I sit down, I reflect on my annual plan, and then I structure my 90-day plan to meet the goals or the activities or projects that I have coming up across the year. So you need a plan because it helps you to gain clarity in your business. That's without a doubt. It helps you to set achievable goals, which motivate you and your team, so that you can get real results. It helps you create the life and business that you want, It helps you grow your business. It helps you to reduce the overwhelm and create a clear path to success. And it truly, truly, what it really does, it helps you keep accountable to yourself. Yeah. So I just think self-accountability is huge. For anyone that's a long-time listener to the show, I have a Monday morning, 8 a.m. accountability group with a group of wonderful ladies. There's 3 of us. We meet every single Monday at 8 a.m. Rain, hail, or shine. Last week, it was hilarious because it was the school holidays and we're all mums and we're all exhausted, and we still showed up, and I was like lying in bed in my pajamas, and so was one of the other ladies, and we were all just having a laugh at how we all rocked up to our accountability call. But you know what? We all showed up. That's what accountability is about, and it's so wonderful to have a community around you that's comfortable enough to rock up in your PJs and say, hey, I'm doing it anyway. So here is a quote from H. Jackson Brown. The best preparation for tomorrow is doing your best today. So let's start by doing our best today, and that is how we will prepare for the future. Now, there are some questions that you can reflect on, and this is not in my one-pager planner, which I'm about to run through for you guys, but what you can do is you can take some notes on and reflect in the past. If you do want to journal and diarize, aside from these one-pager planner templates that I've provided, if you just want to diarize and write, that is also a really good exercise, and just get it all out. Some of the questions I ask myself is, what are you most proud of from 2025? So the year you're currently in, essentially, from the previous year. Like, what were you most proud of? What goals did you hit in 2025? Did you start something new that you want to keep doing? What did you get rid of or stop doing in 2025? What didn't you love? So ask yourself, what did you learn? What did you love? What are you grateful for? What did you get rid of? What didn't you love? What do you want to leave behind? Yeah. So these sorts of questions are really important. It's those reflection points, and you can write your own set of reflection points, but these are some of the questions that I ask myself, and I have them listed, and I every year I ask myself those questions. I reflect on what worked, what didn't, what am I proud of? What am I not so proud of? What am I going to leave behind? Then I ask myself, what did you hope to do in 2025, or whatever year you're in when you're listening to this episode, that didn't actually happen? So what did you hope to achieve and it just didn't come to fruition? What were your top 3 wins? And I want you to write down what they were as well. What were your top 3 wins of the year? It can be personal, it can be business, it can be anything. Essentially, there are no rules. Now, remember, a goal without a plan is just a wish, okay? So that's my reflection journaling that I like to do. Then I move into the questions I ask myself to propel me forward. Now, I don't ask these questions every quarter. I just do my one-pager quarterly plan. This is an annual thing that I do as a reflection, and then questions to propel me forward. And again, this is a great journaling exercise to start if you'd like to, before jumping into those templates, and I'll go through that in a sec. But essentially, what do I want to accomplish in 2026? So the new year, wherever you are, right? Right now, like I said, it's October 2025, and I'm talking about prepping for the next year, 2026. So what do I want to accomplish next year? In the next year? How will I have fun in 2026? That is one of the questions I ask myself. How will I have fun? Remember fun. This is important, because what happens is when you go to your annual planner and you start putting those projects, those main projects in each month on it, you're going to look and you're going to think of all the work stuff. But then you're going to forget about when you want to take a holiday, that camping trip you've got booked already, the school holidays, and how you promised yourself you wouldn't work for that 2 weeks and whatever month because You're going to be taking your kids out for that entire time, like whatever the deal is. Yeah. How will you have fun in 2026? Maybe you're a dancer who hasn't taken a dance class for the last 10 to 20 years and you want to go back and do some fun classes. That's one of my goals. It's the end of the year. And what does success look like? What does success look like? That is another question I ask myself. Another question I ask myself is, what do I want to stop doing in 2026? And what do I want to start doing in 2026? When I think about the new year, what gets me excited? Ask yourself, what gets you excited? When you think about this future year coming up, is there anything that gets you excited? And of course, by all means, please reach out. You can send me a DM, head to Instagram, send us a message at Studio Talent Collective. Let us know what gets you excited when you think about the new year. Sometimes writing it down can really help manifest it into reality. I'm not talking woo-woo. I'm talking about like scientifically proven results that when you read something out loud, you visualize it and you write it down, there is a more likeliness that it comes into reality. Just because you're putting it into your psyche, so you tend to then be more aware of the ways to move towards the thing. When you visualize, you write it and you say it out loud. So that's what we're doing here. What gets you excited? Now, here's a question, and it's really interesting because this particular question I'm about to share is one that I've worked with with my clients, and some of them absolutely have no idea. So I'll ask them, what's the revenue goal for the new year? Like what's the total revenue goal? And people will have numbers and whatnot. But when I ask the following question, what's your personal wage goal in 2026? What's your personal wage goal from the new year? That's when people go, oh, I haven't even thought about that. So they'll go, I want to make $100,000 in revenue. I want to make $1 million in revenue. Great. What percentage of that are you going to be taking home? And what's your personal wage from that? And they go, oh, haven't thought about that. Please include this question in your journaling. Now, this can be a percentage-based process. So you might say, I want to take home 20% of annual revenue in wages for myself. When I had a studio, it really varied. When there were massive debts and overheads after COVID, like my percentage of income went from 30% down to 10, right, of revenue, because we had to manage post-COVID debt, which is gone now, by the way, through strategy, hard work, and cutting costs. But yeah, so that was my reality, and so I did it from a percentage-based point of view, which kind of helped me. And if I couldn't hit it, then I knew I had to cut costs to make it possible, because salary was very important. In my new business, which is the talent agency and coaching services, Studio Talent Collective, that has shifted to now 50%. So my personal wage is 50% of revenue. But like I said, I'm predominantly now a digital business, so I don't really have the studio overheads like rent and whatnot, less a team, that sort of thing, not teachers every day, etc. So that has changed, and it may change again down the future. I can't imagine it ever being more than 50%. If anything, it'll be percentage. The more income we make, the costs rise, and then the percentage may drop. But, I like to think that you're paying yourself a minimum of 20% of revenue. That would, and again, these numbers are whatever, you might need to start with 5% just to get some runs on the board, but you want to have a personal wage goal. Yeah. So do the math there and know your numbers. What am I nervous about in 2026? This is a question I ask myself. What am I nervous about? This is a really good question. What's the most amazing thing I want to happen to me in 2026? And then finally, if you don't do any of the other things besides revenue, personal wage, And this one. If money wasn't an issue, I would. If money wasn't an issue, I would. ... Okay. All right, so those are some reflection questions and journaling questions to help propel you into the new year. All right, so moving on now, let's talk about the templates that I've provided and how I can walk you through it. Now, one of them is called your annual project planner. Your annual project planner, again, available, link is in the show notes. You can grab that, guys, for free, is essentially this. The year is at the top, and then we have 4 columns. The first column is the month, January, February, March, whatever. The second column is the project. I mean, you could literally whack this into a spreadsheet if you wanted to on your drive or whatever. Month, project. So what is the main project of that month? Please do not choose more than 2. Main projects means anything that you have coming up that is a marketing campaign opportunity, an event that you have on, etc. So for example, if your concert is in November every year, then put in November annual show, annual concert, Christmas concert, whatever. If you want to think about marketing campaigns and promotional opportunities, what I like to do is I like to just get a list of dates, which you can type into AI or Google or whatever. But, calendar dates, like for example, World Tutu Day is in February. So I want to do a promotion for that. Dance for Sick Kids is in May. So I'm going to do an online campaign fundraiser for that. What else is there? Easter, Halloween. Oh, Halloween's in October. We're going to run a Halloween disco party. I'm making it up. But you get the point, right? You might want to run an awards or a mid-year show, or that you go and you do a Stedfords or, competitions in particular months. Whatever the focal point is, term 1 peak enrollment season might be it. Black Friday sales, November, right? I'm looking at all of these opportunities. International Dance Day, April 29th, Studio Biz Summit. Put that in your project planner right now. This coming year. So Studio Biz Summit started as a virtual event. It then became a in-person event, so biannual, and then it will go back to virtual this year. So this year it will be virtual. Put in your calendar now, April 29th, online International Dance Day. You're hanging out with me and my crew. And that's going to be a wonderful virtual summit for education and learning. There you go. International Dance Day. Come and hang out with us. So all of these things. Maybe you're going to be participating in particular exhibits, Victorian Dance Festival, whatever. So those are the sorts of things we're talking about, those critical moments or marketing opportunities. Perhaps you want to, when you look at all of this, you'll go, where are the peak seasons of the year and where can I run a campaign? Yeah. So think about that. You might go, wow, between July, August and September, we really have nothing going on in the studio. Why don't we run an August XYZ? It could just be a bring a friend campaign, a referral campaign. And we're going to run that in August. And so if you know that, can you see how marking your calendar under the main project in column 2, marking your calendar for those major events is going to help you plan each 90 days, right? This is where we're getting to. Do this first. Do a draft copy first, make it messy, scribble all over it, cross it, do whatever you got to do, and then do your proper draft. Or proper copy, should I say. So the idea is that you're creating an annual project planner. Then in the third column, so the first column is the month, the second column is the major project or event or thing that you're doing. The third column is goals. So what is the goal? Okay, well, if we're running a Bring a Friend campaign, our goal is to enroll 10 new students. If we are running a November Black Friday sale, our goal is to sell $2,000 worth of merchandise. Our January campaign is our new season enrollment campaign. Our goal is to enroll 50 new students. Our competition is in this month. Our goal is to, have two trick teams attend this competition. Or maybe it's to make a profit from the competition or whatever. I'm making it up, but you get the point. But get specific. Don't just say, I want to make money. Say, I want to make $1,000. Don't just say, I want to enroll new students. Say, I want to enroll 10 new students. So get specific on the goals. Then in the final column, so we've had month, project, goals. In the fourth and final column, you'll see done/reward. There's a tick box that says, yes, we did the thing. And then there's a reward. So you can choose your reward. You might say, if I achieve my goal in January, I'm going to treat myself to a massage. If I achieve my goal in March, I'm going to crack open a bottle of champagne. If I achieve my goal in July, I'm going to take a Friday off work and head to the beach, right? Making it up. But yeah, put your rewards down and start thinking about that too. All right, so that's your annual project planner, which is available for you there to download. And again, it's just got those columns there as well. Okay, now let's head to your quarterly studio plan. Now, my quarterly studio plan, or business plan, if you will, is a one-pager, and it is something I've been doing for years, and I do it every 90 days. So January, February, March, and then I'll do April, May, June, etc. So I do it to the quarter that matches the year. And it is so important because if I didn't have this, I believe that my year would fly by and every 12 months would go past and I would not achieve anything that is in my head, maybe only a fraction of it. Like, because you know how you have all these goals and thoughts and dreams in your head, and then the year just keeps moving past and keeps going through the motions, and you get stuck in the rut of the doing and the grind, and you don't actually do the things. You don't even do half of them because you've not actually structured anything around it, written it down, or actually had a plan in place. You might have a plan in your head, but that's not good enough. You'll never do anything if it's just all sitting in your head, okay? So, the quarterly studio plan, you'll notice at the top there are 3 main goals. Goal 1, goal 2, goal 3. So these are your top goals. So it could be to goal 1, now that you've done your annual plan and you know what's happening each month, we want to go to the Disney dance experience in the USA in 2026. And I've done some research and I know that tour happens in this month and that month. Let's pretend it's August. So we're going to say, yay, we're going to the Disney experience in the USA. We're going to dance at Disney with the studio kids in August 2026. Okay, now that first goal might be to organize Disney trip launch. That could be the main goal of the first goal. The second goal could be enroll 100 students. And the third goal could be start paying myself a wage of 10% of all revenue. Made it up. Okay, cool. So we've got our top 3 goals. It could be introduce a new preschool program. Whatever. Increase revenue by $10,000. Whatever the goals are. So these are our top goals, and then everything flows from there. So now we know, looking at the calendar, so we've just said in the annual calendar, we know we're going to have a heavy enrollment season in that month, this and that. We know now the runway time we need for each of these annual planned projects. If you know you've got a Disney trip in August next year, you might want to start talking about it now, right? Or soon, or at least in January. You need to give people time to financially invest in that experience, because it can be costly to put the time aside for the workshops and program classes associated, etc. So you need to plan that straight off the bat. You can't wait until July to talk about the Disney trip in August. You know that now when it's mapped out. You also know that your big marketing plan is coming up for the new enrollment season in term 1. So you need to have a strategy, right? So that means if your goal is to enroll 50 new students because on your annual plan it's enrollment season, then you need to look at how you're going to do that. And that's what this quarterly plan's about. It's about looking at the future, thinking about the runway time you need to market or achieve that thing on the project list, and then you can work backwards. Yeah? Okay, so we're working backwards from the annual planner. The next box you'll notice is marketing attraction. Marketing attraction activities. So your marketing attraction activities could be bring a friend day, referral program, open house, open week, Facebook ads, email and text marketing campaign, performing at the local school holiday festival, and marketing to everyone out there and giving away 1 month class passes to preschools. It could be all of the above. Whatever it is, you put it into how are we going to attract students? How are we going to market things to attract the people, right? Then in the next column, you'll see the next box, marketing retention activities. So marketing for retention. How are we going to keep our current students? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to release an annual plan of the year ahead so people know what to look forward to. We're going to give them a gift if they sign up before this date. We're going to create a YouTube channel where we put amazing content and feature our studio stars on the channel, which all of the kids are watching and are really getting into and excited to be a part of. Whatever, right? Retention. How are you going to love up your customers and keep them? Okay. Team. So that's marketing attraction, marketing retention. Those are 2 separate topics. Notice there's only 4 points below each of them, because if you have too many, you won't do a thing. If you go, we're going to do 50 things really well, you won't do any. You don't have to fill every column. You might only have 2 attraction techniques. But whatever you've got on there, no more than 4. That's what we're trying to say. Like, chill out, do the thing well, and focus on those. Yeah? All right, team, staff. What do you need with your team? What do you need from team? What is your team going to do? Do you have to run a team training session? Is that what you need to do with staff? Whatever. Like, look at those. Then there's your office staff. What do you need from your office staff, or how can you support them? What do you need to do, or what do they need to do to be on board with this plan? Okay, so the office staff needs to put together a new enrollment package for our new students. The office staff needs to order the bonus merchandise for our marketing retention campaign, whatever. Customer benefits and love. This is that value proposition. How are you going to love up your customers this quarter? Are you going to introduce a birthday card scheme in your business? Are you going to introduce opening up your t-shirts in a beautiful package with confetti coming out and a thank you note for joining you? Are you going to introduce a check-in call with all of your parents and across the quarter make sure that everyone's received a phone call? Or perhaps you're going to introduce a customer service booking opportunity where they can book a 15-minute Zoom call with you from your Calendly link, just as a check-in for anyone that has questions or wants to check in and speak to one of your team or the director about their child's progression, and offer that to everyone and say, hey, this quarter, if you'd like to chat with us, we've got times available on Wednesday nights and Saturday mornings, available through this Calendly link. Every parent is welcome to book in should you wish and chat about your child's progress or developmental needs. Okay? How are you going to love them up? Right? And believe me when I say, loving up your customers is a critical point in this new marketplace. You need multiple touch points. What used to sell with one post on Instagram now requires a post, a reel, a phone call, an email, a whatever. So much more. There's too many options out there and people are fatigued with the options. Why do they choose you? What can you do to love up your customers and do differently to the guys next door? Yeah. Maybe you have a senior hangout space where they get free tea and coffee or juice and biscuits on site, and teens can hang out before class and have a free coffee station. Maybe you put a free coffee station in your foyer for your parents. So when they're waiting, they can have tea and coffee and biscuits. Yeah, right? What can you do? What makes you different? Okay, think outside the box. Systems. What systems can you implement to improve your life? Are you on direct debit yet? If your studio does not accept direct debit payments, that would be my most recommended first system. If you're seeing a lot of the same questions asked over and over, create template responses inside of your Google Documents or wherever you have your things that you hold. We use Google Docs in my business, always have. So we have template emails titled for different scenarios, template texts, you name it. Doesn't mean we don't tweak it and add personality and actually read things. We do. But what can you do? Is there any sort of automation that could help you? Etc. So just think about what systems you can have in place, right? Okay. So those are the top points. So your top 3 goals. Then you've got that box there with those columns for marketing attraction. Then you've got marketing retention. You've got team staff and then team office staff. Your value, so the customer benefits and love that you can implement or maintain potentially. Your systems that you want to implement or maintain or improve. And then we have our our program services and products focus. Notice month 1, month 2, month 3. So if this is for January, February, March, this is what you're selling, right? What are you selling? What are you focused on? So month 1 could be enrollments. Month 2, February, could also be enrollments. Month 3 might be merchandise. Or could be your Disney trip, right? What are you selling? So those focal points each month and really honing into those focal points. And just reflecting on that annual planner to make sure that that's aligned with what's coming up. And then finally, finance, income and or investments. What do you need to spend money on or invest in your business in the next 3 months to make something possible? For example, if part of your strategy for 2026 is to be performing live at community events throughout the year, and you've got several community events listed, like all your local festivals, and you want to be a part of that, so you have to contact council and get into those. That might be a team staff strategy. And by the way, if you don't have team, you're the team. So just write down what you're going to do. Like, don't think, I don't have team. That's irrelevant to me. You're the team. So you still put things in there, yeah? One of them could be call council to get us involved in all of the community events coming up. That could be a task, an important task to achieve your goal. So the investment in the finance section could be you need banners and A-frames with your studio logo and contact details for people to get in touch if they're interested in what you do. Okay, that could be an investment. Maybe you're introducing a tap program and you need tap boards. That's an investment. Maybe you actually want to start an investment fund and actually start investing in shares. That could be a personal goal. Maybe you want to start saving money for a project, open up a savings account for XYZ, right? Whatever. And then take action now. Okay, what can I do right now, today, tomorrow? What can we do straight away to get started? Call the council. Find out about how we can get involved and who the contact person is to get on the list for those performance events. Whatever. Contact the Disney tourist people, whatever they're called, trip people. Okay, so now that we've talked about this, notice that every line is really super short. That's on purpose. It's not about writing sentences. This is about short and sharp reference points, right? Short and sharp reference points, rather, to represent, that's what I'm trying to get at, to represent what the task or goal is, okay? One pager, guys. All right, now, what are you going to do? What are you going to do differently this year? First of all, I'd love you to do this, really set this out. It's so critical to your success to have a good plan. Again, that rewards section that I know some people are like, what's the point of the rewards? Well, every time you receive a reward, your body releases dopamine, which creates a sense of pleasure. And this in turn will increase your productivity and motivation, okay? We all know that being a leader can be a thankless job at times. So, this is about thanking yourself, yeah? It's important to give yourself a reward as well. Create a draft at first. This is a brain dump. So creating a draft first will move you closer to the final result. Nothing is set in stone, guys, and you can evolve. So be honest with yourself. Yeah, no excuses. Being realistic is not the same as aiming low. So I want you to find a balance when scheduling things in, yeah? Consider all elements of your life when planning. Example, your family needs, your holidays, your key industry dates and events and more, okay? Be true to yourself in what you want to achieve. And truly prioritize the things that get you closer to your dream studio business and your version of success. Take the time to do this, guys. Again, all you need to do is head to josephinelancuba.com/plan. I really want you to think about loving up your customers as well. Ideas around loving up your customers could be birthday recognition, seasonal events, performance opportunities, upfront scheduling and planning. People really appreciate that, so they know what's on. Those celebrity feeling moments, like we said, the YouTube channel, social media posts, sharing those wins. It could be an Instagram takeover, newsletter highlights, awards, etc. It could be welcome packs each year. Other ways to love up your customers could be uniform or merchandise items, bonuses for certain client groups, membership models and pricing packages that really help them. Talent management, service in-house. That's another great way to love up your customers by providing them with opportunities in film, television, commercial, musicals, etc. If you ever need help with that, I'm your gal. So if you ever want to have an in-house talent agency, absolutely get in touch. Backstage passes to shows, etc. There's so many things you can do. When you think about your systems and processes, on that end, I want you to ask yourself what would make it easier and save you time. Yeah, so lots to think about there. So that's kind of it. All right, so
that's 45.
That is amazing, guys. Thank you so much for listening to the show. And make sure you download those PDF templates and enjoy planning away. If you have anything else that you want to share with me, head to Instagram right now at Studio Talent Collective and send me a DM. Let's start a conversation. If you want those planning templates, my quarterly plan, my annual plan, the link is in the show notes. Enjoy, friends, and have a beautiful day. Okay, bye. This episode is brought to you by Studio Talent Collective, helping you go from studio owner to talent manager with confidence. Ready to start your own in-house talent agency? Connect with me at josephinelancuba.com or via the links in the show notes. If you enjoyed this episode, please share, rate, and review. Thanks for listening and keep shining.